One of the key data centers, if you will, in Maestro is the properties. We know that contacts and businesses will come and go over the course of time, but for the most part, your properties are what is generational and stands for the test of time. And so we've put a lot of resources and tools into the information that you've got within your properties. If you're looking for a specific property, you can always do a quick search, and as long as you get 3 characters in there, that'll start to come up. You can see you've got that property icon, so you know that's a property. Or you can go to the left-hand side navigation and click on properties and get there this way. For us, we know we want to go to a specific property, and when we edit, you'll see that we've got a lot of information available to us. So we've got your basic contact information. You can start to put in longitude and latitude. You can even select use type, and these are some national codes that give you some of that statistics level. Hey, I want to know that for us, this is an office. I want to know how many land uses are office. Number of floors and all of this information is here. You can start to get your TIF information put in, your SSA information put in, and we'll talk about those in settings where you actually edit the names of these, but here is where you attach it to this particular profile. In enterprise, whether it's for sale or for lease, you can actually now enter assessed market value. So we'll just say this property is assessed at $189,000. If you knew the architect and the year built, that information can go here. If you do happen to lose a property for whatever reason, whether that be fire or flood or blight or whatever reason that might be, you can actually put that in here, and your historical data will be kept, but that property will no longer count against your reinvestment statistics. So your occupancy rate and all that is adjusted as long as this field here is filled out, but you don't lose the information that's along with this property. Just like businesses, you're able to attach multiple contacts to this property and their role. Registry, again, is pretty self-explanatory. This is for whether it's National Register, local historic register, any geographic boundaries really that are within your district that you've got set up can be a registry. You can track sale date. Again, this is great for those reinvestment statistics if you're tracking that sale date. If there's particular involvements, you may say, well, what's involvements got to do with the property? But again, those involvements can be absolutely anything. We know we've seen communities that are tracking or tagging involvements as the architectural style, so that they've got all of the Beaux Arts style buildings or the Art Deco style buildings in a list that they can generate and whether it's for a tour or whatever, they've got that information. So really there's no limit to those involvements. So you have the ability to attach those here as well. You've got the ability to attach files, so pictures or documents pertaining to that property. Again, tracking improvements. So these are things like new roof, whether they're getting a build out, whether they're doing new windows, all of those reinvestment statistics that we keep track of. And then you can add as many units to the property as you wish. Now, let's say you've got a new unit. Just to show you here, this can be unit 201. It doesn't have to be A through K. We don't really have that unit, so we're going to get rid of it. And within that unit, you can mark it as residential or occupied. And now you can see that these up here cannot be marked as occupied because they're not residential. So the system knows that this is a commercial property. And we'll get to those in just a second. But to focus on the residential, we've got our square foot, we've got what the rent per month is, and then we actually have the number of units. So maybe this is 3 units or 3 residents, this is 2, and so on. And what this does is it gives us that downtown census or population. We realize this is going to be really difficult to continually stay up on, but it's a great place to store that data when you do come across it. And you know, as far as we're concerned, having any data is a good spot to start, even if we have to update that as we go. Now, jumping back to these commercial units, you can see we can't mark that as occupied. So how do we mark those units? Well, this section above here is where we attach a particular business to a particular unit. So in this case, Rakusik is tied to Unit J, but the system also realizes that Unit K is an unoccupied commercial unit because it's not residential, so it must be commercial, and there's no business tied to it, so it's vacant. So when we run a list of vacant units, this property will actually pull up and Unit K will display. So this is a great way to figure out what units are available, you know, within a square footage or all units, and it's a great way to help the economic development teams or economic vitality teams fill those spaces, because now we can get a list of everything that's available, whether that's storefront or upper story, very, very quickly from within the Maestro system. Again, this is one of many tutorial videos. We encourage you to watch all of these videos, and if you have questions or need any further assistance, please feel free to reach out and contact us. We're always happy to help.